Hello, welcome. I'm Shalon Lockhart, Self-Love Queen Passionista and Emotional Energy Alchemist, and I am here to help you navigate the energies and your self-love journey. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to pull some oracle cards today and see what is coming up that for messages. So. What messages do we have for today? All right. So, the thorn. So, protection, boundaries, clear communication. All right. This is all about having healthy boundaries. All right. The thorn protects the rose. That's the boundary, right? And we need to establish between, one thing is about establishing between borders and boundaries, right? Because people will test your boundaries all the time, right? So it's about establishing, is it a border or is it a boundary? Because if it's a border, it doesn't move, right? Whereas boundaries can be a little bit more flexible, right? And some people like to push that and walk all over them. If you have children, they test your boundaries all the time, right? And so it's about establishing, is this a hard no? Because if it is, then it's a border and it's not moving and you're not straying from that, okay? And if it's a boundary, it can be a little bit more flexible, right? But still hold firm on it. All right, so let's see what the book has to say. So it says, the rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth. She has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen. Okay, so think about your borders as that, right? Clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do, okay? We too are like the rose. So often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships, okay? We are not mind readers, right? We, in whatever type of relationship, that you have, I'm thinking about like when my kids were little, or think about if you have kids when they're little, they ask, if you tell them something, they continuously question you on it. But why? But why, mom? But why? But why, mom? Right? And it gets to be like, oh, just because, right? Which really, they're trying to, learn why you have, put this boundary or this border or whatever in place, right? Why do you have this rule? But like, well, why can't we do this? And why can't we do that? And it's about, just as opposed to getting frustrated with them, just giving them a clear, concise answer, right? When we're not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate them. So it's about like, expressing what we need as well, right? Then it's possible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in a relationship. Okay. And you know what? I'm like, sometimes this is the relationship with yourself. Are you clear about what you're needing from yourself even? So communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we're in a relationship with to feel safe too, right? When you're clear and concise, then you know, that other person knows where those borders and boundaries are, right? And then they know where they need to, not need to, but they can decide whether they want to show up that way or not. So this card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility for our needs. So we have to take responsibility for our own needs. We cannot expect somebody else to give that to us, because when we give those things to ourselves, then that is reflected in the world around us from our relationships as well, okay? So, to be clear with others, we must first be clear with ourselves and then communicate this to our loved ones and the world. So, the soul inquiry is, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? All right. Think about your relationships with everybody in your life, everybody in your life. Okay. This isn't just like romantic relationships. This is everywhere. This could be with work. This could be with your family. This could be with your siblings, your parents, your children. Okay. Where are you needing to establish these boundaries? Where are people walking all over you and taking your energy and your time? So, how are you being called to communicate clearly to those you're in a relationship with? All right. So, the next one is Lineage of the Rose. Moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call and gather. All right. And I think this is why we're needing to establish these healthy boundaries, so that we can, because our souls are calling, where this is our time where us as the feminine are rising up, okay, to our souls calling to come together, to collaborate, to gather. And we can't do that when we have all these other things that are going on, right? Start delegating. You do not have to do everything. That is something that I've had to learn, that I do not have to do everything. Okay, I am a solo mom. I've run myself ragged. My children are older. Now I definitely have started delegating and creating those boundaries and borders, right? About where the things that I expect them to do to help me out, right? So let's see what Lineage of the Rose has to say. These times, these changing, divisive times, your soul chose to be here right now for this. You're part of a collective team led by the goddesses, by the mother of us all, to reweave the thread of the rose back into the tapestry of humanity. To make space where all people feel cherished and safe, to heal and be healed from the destructive patterns of patriarchy, to be part of the return of the goddess to the earth. If you've been doubting your path, you're being called to look within and trust the whispers and weavings from caverns deep. The way of the mystic rose is walked by few and known by heart, not mind. What is your heart's calling for? Your mind will have you overthink everything and make you feel crazy. It's about coming back to yourself, making time, and tapping into your heart. What is your heart calling for? The way of the mystic rose is walked by few and known by heart, not mind. Sorry, I guess I had to read that again. Try not to overthink. Rather, trust the threads that are woven deep. All right. This card contains within it a confirmation of the inner call and a reassurance that you're not alone in it. The mother of us all thanks you for being part of these changing times for humanity. She acknowledges your devotion to doing your best to support yourself and others in the journey back home to themselves, okay? To each other and to the earth. She wants you to know that she is available to guide you every step of the way. Speak, sing, and dance with her, okay? Tap into that divine feminine energy. That is our creative center, our creative source, right? You are led. You are led. You are led. Beautiful. So the soul inquiry is, how are you being called to commit more deeply to humanity and the earth? All right. This is just, I was being called. I love doing oracle card readings. I do them all the time, every day for myself. I do them in my Facebook group where Queens Unite. please come join us there. It's on Facebook. Come find us to join. And I really just have been called for a long time to start doing them on YouTube to help guide people and help them as well on their self-love journey. So the next card we have is healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It is safe to soften. You're not broken. So often we feel like we're broken, like there's something wrong with us. Like, you know, why is this happening to me, right? All of this stuff, okay? Everything is happening for you. It's happening to help you along your healing journey, okay? Being that you're healing does not mean that you're broken. You were never broken. You're unlearning. You're unlearning aspects of yourself that were forced upon you that don't resonate with you anymore because they're not true to you. They're not true to your soul. They're not true to your heart, okay? It's not about being broken. It's about shedding and releasing aspects of ourselves that no longer resonate. It's about rising up, okay? And we can't do that when we have all this other garbage, okay? So softening into the feminine. You can still be soft and strong, all right? So let's see what this has to say. You're not broken. You're a part of the ever-changing nature of life. Ever-changing, 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 right? We are always changing. Like I always say, like the only constant in life is change. And you will not be the same person that you were when you started this video, okay? Because you've learned something, you've grown, right? So you're not the same person. Change is your natural state. The rose knows that you were never meant to stay the same, to be one single shape, size, or way. You're not normal, and that's normal. I always say, you'll hear me say, I always say, normal is just a setting on the dryer, okay? You're always becoming more and more of who you truly are. Healing is happening every moment of every day. You're returning to your true state every moment of every day. Take that time to come back to you, to your true state, which is oneness within yourself, balance, harmony, joy, peace, all right? Call in your support team of people who can hold you in that. Find your tribe, all right? Who can trust in the grace of your natural state, who you can be yourself with, truly, authentically be yourself, all right? A true healer knows that they're not the one doing the healing. Rather, they're holding the vision of the return to wholeness. Know that wholeness isn't a stagnant state. When you embrace all parts of life, from the ecstasy to the agony, the joy to the grief, the bloom to the fall, the bud to the rose hip, you'll realize that healing is always happening and life is on your side. No one is immune to the polarity of this human experience. The only way through is to embrace all parts of it, right? That's why we feel through our emotions. We don't stuff them down because that causes other problems in our bodies and in our lives, right? And we take the time to feel through them and acknowledge them for what they're showing us and process them and release them, all right? The light and the shadow. And as any healer or initiate knows, the only way to the light is to embrace the shadow within. So many times we are ashamed of those shadow aspects of ourselves, okay? For feeling the way we do, that we shouldn't feel that way, right? When it is completely normal. You're normal. Everybody has feelings, okay? Everybody has those shadow aspects of ourselves where we're go into our dark night of the soul and we feel like we're the only one and we feel like we're alone and we feel like we shouldn't be feeling this way and we feel like, we know, woe is me and why is this happening to me? And it's okay to feel that way, all right? We can't get through to the light without feeling through the darkness, right? It's the polarity again. This came up in the reading that I did yesterday. It's the polarity. Like, without the darkness, can't see the stars, right? So the shadow and sometimes the pain is a portal to your liberation, okay? Turning your pain into power. This is where I help women turn their pain to power, to liberate them, to reclaim that power within, okay? We clear the shadow aspects of the self, right? The limiting beliefs. We do the inner child work, the inner child healing, right? To step higher into that divine feminine, that divine queen energy. All right? You're not broken. You're healing. Healing is happening. Trust in the timing of your life. Release the concept of that this healing should have been completed by now. No, healing is done in layers. Right? We think that we've healed and cleared something, and then something else comes up that triggers that, right? And then we dive deeper. Where is this coming from? Okay. It's like you can't just crack it wide open. All right. It would be way too much for your body and your soul to handle. And that's why it's about the journey, right? Peeling back another aspect, another layer. It's like getting to the next level. Like, hypothetically, let's just think about this as a video game. I am not a gamer. Farthest thing from it. But let's think about life as this video game. And when we peel back another layer, then we get to the next level. And we peel back another layer and we get to that next level. Okay? I feel like that just makes it a little bit easier to embrace. All right? Getting to the next level. So, Rose transmission, if you want to place your hand on your chest, says, healing is happening. Healing is happening. Healing is happening. And remember that even though you feel like you may be doing nothing in this world, when you are focused on your own healing, that heals the world around you. Because everything needs to shift and change around you in order for you to be supported in your healing. That's why sometimes people leave. Because they're not ready to do that healing. And that's okay. Because they can meet you there sometime. If they ever decide to, they can meet you there. Right? You can't force them. It needs to be their own choice. Everybody has free will. And if they so choose to, you can still support them in life. They can still be in your life, right? Depending on what the relationship is, right? But that dynamic will change. And that's where your borders and boundaries come into play, right? When you focus on your own inner healing, the universe has no other choice but to support you. Okay? So, I would love to know how that resonates with you, or if you had any aha moments through the reading and whatnot. If you want to work with me further, I do soul-filled oracle cards coaching sessions, and we do oracle cards and clearing, and I give you tools and techniques to take with you. If you're looking for your tribe to feel supported, I offer a group coaching session that it will be starting up in the fall, Self-Love Queen Academy. And It's an amazing group where we all just come together and dive into really balancing the divine feminine, the divine masculine energy, and coming back to yourself and healing that inner child, and making great shifts in your life. I've seen women do some amazing things and really step up in their life and start taking action because they let go of all those aspects of themselves that were keeping them from living the life that they desire, right? And we focus on mind, body, soul, which is very, very important. It's my 3 pillars in my business that I focus on all the time for in regards to self-love, is nurturing and loving yourself, mind, body, and soul all the time, right? So if that's of any interest to you, the link for that will be in the description below. Otherwise, I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. And remember, you weren't meant to blend in, you were born to shine. Take care.